Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday live virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here in my sewing room, and I hope I can inspire you to put something under your needle. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Great to see you guys. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was Father's Day weekend and Flag Day. That's always fun. We went down to Port O'Connor, and that's on the Texas Gulf Coast, about halfway between Houston and Corpus Christi, right on the corner of Matagorda Bay. And it was so great. There were so many flags down there. It was just awesome and amazing. So made for a great weekend. Yeah, everybody's saying hi and good morning. Yeah, Frito's here too. She's kind of sitting there waiting patiently, being a good girl. Let me move Spanky out of the way. This machine is ginormous. Oh my goodness. And heavy, right? Where's my Frito? Good morning. There's a plane going over. Okay. There she is, waiting patiently on the other side of these camera cords right here. Frito feels the same way about cords that I do. Oh my goodness. Where's your Frito bucket? Here it is, girlfriend. This is our little rescue. Y'all, we are talking about getting another little dog. Hi, Judy. Aloha. Hello. There you go, sweet girl. It was about 3 years ago. It was the Houston Festival in 2022. And a lady was out. There you go. We were in the RV park where we were staying. And a lady was out walking, and she had this cowboy corgi. Cowgirl corgi, I'm not sure. There, I've heard both. I think it's cowboy. I'm not sure. You want a stick? Stop talking, Mom. There you go. Go brush your teeth. Bye-bye. And then go see Daddy. He'll feed you. And I just absolutely love that dog. Look at images of them online. Just adorable. Oh, my goodness. And this last, so at the time, we still had Blue and Harley. We didn't have Frito yet. And so I talked to her and everything, and she lived at the time up in Oregon. Well, you didn't come here to hear this, right? But I'm going to tell you. So I've always adored the breed. I love the ears that go up for the corgi. My main concern was the ability of those little legs to climb up into the motorhome, but we'll make something work. And so Blue passed in 15. She was 15. That was 2 years ago. And then Harley passed last year, my three-legged dog. And we had Frito a year before Harley passed. So when we were on the cruise, the Sew and Sail cruise these last 2 weeks, I was watching Frito on our Blink cameras, and she was so lost and so lonely. And I said, you know what? We really need another dog. They're pack animals. She got out of the fence a couple times to go over to the neighbors just to spend time with them. She would show up on their back patio and look through their door. So anyway, it's this kind of chat that makes the channel wonderful. It gives Debbie something to do besides look at her own life, right? Why not? Not that your life isn't just absolutely fabulous as well. So long story short, I contacted the lady. She's no longer in Oregon. She's in Eastern Washington State. Right now, she has adorable healer puppies that are ready to go. They're 6 weeks old. And if you are in the mind for one, reach out to me and I will get you her information. Oh my goodness, they are just precious. They have a blue one that's a female, and then 2 or 3 little red ones as well, red and white healers. So cute. But Keith said, if we're going to get a healer, we might as well look for one here in Texas, right? So anyway, I let her know we're going to hold out for the corgi mix. It is a mix between a corgi and a blue healer. So they're adorable and so stinking smart. His granddaughter has one, brought her down, and Frito and Marley got along fabulously. So anyway, all right. So adopt, don't shop. Well, Quilting Queen, we normally do. This is, all of our dogs have been adopted. Our last 5, 6 dogs have always been adopted. But I've wanted one of these for a long time, and they're kind of special. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. So today I want to do it's a Kimberbell, and they have a whole collection of these things. They are called holiday rope bowls. And this is the Sweet Land of Liberty. This is it here. You guys, this is going to look so stinking pretty on my table this summer. I think it's going to look amazing. So there are 2 parts to these things. Well, actually 3 parts. So there's 2 embroidery files that you get with these. You get the rope bowl base that you embroider, right? And then there's a sewing part to that where you have to sew it all together to sew the rope on. And then there is a label. And the way I want to do the closure on the rope at the top is with the label. And this one has, you can see the little label at the top. See that red label? And there's actually a blue tassel hanging off the back of it. Have I seen the posts on Autumn Love? Is the pattern of the person putting it together? I don't know what that means. You've been wanting to try. Candace, these are so fun. My first one taught me a lot of lessons. I'll show you the first one. I'm not going to talk about Autumn Love today, you guys. Today's about rope bowls, okay? So we'll get to Autumn Love tomorrow. So I did this first one, okay? And my sewing experience led me to finish it in a different way than they say to. And the way they want you to finish it is to stop at the top with the needle down and then kind of pull the rope over loosely to figure out where it's going to hit here, let it hang, you know, clip it, and then cover it with the fabric to give you a fabric edge on the top of this. I was not successful with that at all. What I ended up doing, and that's plain on the video, what I ended up doing was I went ahead and stopped it right here at the top, and I made a knot and cut the thread. Then I let it hang loose, and I let the rope go down. So then, well, let's see. So you're actually stopping it just underneath that final roll right there. So you're stopping the rope, cut the thread, okay, and then let the rope, you had to kind of wrap it around the final time and then clip it, you know, give it a little extra to make your coil. I'm not a fan of that. That's why I like the leather. So you make the coil, figure out how much rope needs to be covered with fabric, and then put a wonder clip at that point. And then with the rope out of the machine, it's so much easier. Then just wrap the rope with the fabric until you get it right. It took me 3 tries because you don't want it to be covering too much. You run out of fabric. So anyway, did that, then finished it off. Okay, so my experience has told me that's a lot easier than their method that they have. And even on this one, they say to stop the stitching right here at the top before the last, you know, at the top, and then figure out how much extra you need. Anyway, I will do that outside of the machine. So I'm going to finish mine just a little bit different than the directions say to do. If you would like to finish it using their method, that's fine. They show how in videos, but I'm going to use my method because it seemed to work a little better for me. Okay. So this design, it's got a few like applique parts. Okay. You need, oh, Keith is going to feed Frito. She just left. What happened to my stuff? Okay. You need a piece of the shape form. Okay. So you got to have that. So it's going to do a placement line, and then you're going to put this on it, and then it's going to do a tack down, pull the hoop, and then trim all the way around. Okay. And then there's a placement line and a tack down for your background fabric. Now, my background fabric has SF101, that fusible woven interfacing on the back of it. You can't tell because it's white. So it already has SF101 on the back. So that's ready to go. This is a real pretty white on white from Corey Yoder. And after that, all of the stitching is just straight embroidery with the exception of a little strawberry. And look at the fabric I have for a strawberry with the little seeds on it. Isn't that precious? Yep. Oh, they're barkers? Are they, Kathy? Uh-oh. Frito don't bark a whole lot. So we'll work on that. Okay. And then there are 2 pieces of fabric folded in half, wrong sides together for the envelope back for the base. And then you pull that, get that all flipped over and whatnot, and then sew the rope around it. So that's what we're going to do. Now for the label is actually done like freestanding lace using using water-soluble stabilizer. So that's what I have here, and I'll talk you through that. So you've got some water-soluble, fibrous water-soluble, okay? And I have a piece of, this is Solvy. It's from Solvy, okay? So if you want to get Kimberbell stabilizers, go for it. They're wonderful. I didn't have any, so I'm use what I have on hand, and I just tell you guys what I'm using. Excuse me. Well, welcome, Charlotte. I'm glad you're here and you got to make the live. That's awesome. So what I plan on doing is the bowl base part in my 10 needle, since most of it is straight stitching, changing colors and all that. So I'll let Spanky do his thing while you and I work over here on the Luminaire doing the little label. Nothing makes me happier than to have 2 machines going at one time, putting those power tools with thread to work. Love it. Awesome. You like that there are more embroidery days? You know, I go through, can you put your screen name from Japan? Can you write that phonetically for me in a chat comment, and I will try to remember that. You love my shirt, Patty? Isn't this adorable? Oh my gosh, this is from Bee Inspired Tees. I love this. United We Quilt, and my chickens. I love my chickens. Okay. So anyway, let me get this and tell it okay. I have the design on a USB, and I've got this other camera. I was going to turn it around and show you guys what I'm doing, but first I need to hoop the stabilizer. So y'all, my room is a total and complete disaster outside of camera angle. We went down to Port O'Connor last weekend to empty out the house of things that we are not leaving down there, and I've had to merge another house into this one. And thank goodness I decluttered as much as I did over the past couple of years, because my goodness, we're bursting at the seams here. And now I've got to start all over, decide what to keep, what to donate. Ooh, anyway. Alrighty. So let me move this camera out of the way. The instructions say to use a medium or heavyweight, I can't remember, medium tearaway. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it on Spanky. So I'm going to use my dime magnetic hoop. This is the, I've got links to all the dime products below too. This is the dime. It's called a Monster Snap Hoop. Okay. And this is what I'm using. I'm making the 8x12 pattern. It also comes in a 5x7 if you have a smaller machine and you want to make that as well. So very cool that you get it. No, I'm not packing it all up to me. Well, we got those packing bags. Those were very handy. Okay, so let me point this down to my table. Okay, I brought home 3 sewing machines, y'all. Crazy. There's my autumn love blocks. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I have a Zoom call. Where's my rotary cutter? I have a Zoom call set up. Oh, look what I found in my stash. Pink lemonade. That's on back order, or it was, all over the country. Yay, from Glide. So now my Glide thread collection is complete. So let's see here. Let me pull this apart. Really easy to hoop stabilizer. You got, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to bump you there. Really easy to hoop stabilizer. I just lay it out. You can tell it's tear away if you can grab the corner and tear a little bit. Okay. Easy way to do that. And I just lay the top of it on there And then I use that as a measuring guide. So I don't get all wound up about exact measurements. Okay. All right. You want to hold on. If you have these magnetic hoops, hold on to this because it'll keep you from getting your fingers bitten. They will bite. Magnetic hoops definitely will bite. And you just lay this down, okay, like that. And then this one has cutouts in the front corners. So I stand it up perpendicular, right? And I can feel the edge of the lower hoop right here, the frame. I'm just going to drop that down and then pull this out. And we have a nice hooping with no bitten fingers. Okay, that works great. So that's how you do that. The other one is actually in a traditional hoop. And don't you know, it calls for a 4x4. I couldn't find my 4x4 hoop. Not at all. Okay. So let me get this here. I need to put a drop of oil. I know it's dark, y'all, because of the light behind. Sorry about that. I need to put a drop of oil in here. Oh, y'all, these cameras. I use the Handy Oiler from Handy Quilter. I like it. And I'm just going to pull the bobbin, take a look at it. I use the Filtech magnetic bobbins. Okay. Put that in there. Be sure to put the magnet part to the back of the bobbin case. And I'm just going to drop oil in here. I did a video years ago when I first got Spanky. Spanky is my 10 needle. It's a Brother PR 1055. And I got that, I did a video on how to oil this thing and how to put on the quilting table, which I love for applique. Okay, so that's all done. You can go through the process. There's a button to do oil and all that. I don't bother with it. I only bother with it if I get too much oil or whatever. And I need to get it threaded. I do have new threads in spools 1, 2, and 3. So I want to get this a little higher for y'all so you can see what I'm going to do here. And let me make sure I have enough cord. All right, turn this around this way. There we go. Look at that mess in my room. That's kind of hidden by my fabric. It's all over the floor, you guys. Hot, hot mess. Oh, you can't see it. Let me change my camera. There you go. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is to get this thing threaded. So I pull a good amount of the spool that's coming off. I leave a good amount of tail hanging, and then I put the new spool on, I cut it, and then I tie those together, just like I do on the Luminaire. Okay, and so I'm gonna move the head and just pull the thread out of the needle and pull it toward me until the knot and the new thread comes through. Let me see if you can. I want you to be able to see the buttons I'm pushing. So there's the thread the needle button. There. Get it under that foot, wrap it around, cut it, and thread. Very simple. Go to number 2. This is the button I pushed right here. It has 2 needles and a frame and 2 arrows. Let's see. Y'all, I hear something chirping like a spin dizzy, and it's driving me crazy. I need to get Spanky working loud so I don't hear it. And number 1. Okay. So those are the only 3 colors I needed to change on here. And I love this machine. My goodness. All right, so we're good to go there. I need to bring up the design. And it's on the USB. I'm going to tell it okay and hit the USB. And there it is right there. It says it's too large, so it's going to turn it. And I'm going to tell it okay. Turn 90. So there, that's how that's going to look. Now, what I like to do to make sure I don't make a boo-boo on this is here on this, I've got a marker. This frame, I'm sorry, this frame can go in either direction. It can go in this way or it can go in this way. So it's really easy to get confused where you're at, and you can make a big mistake. So here I'm just going to write front. And that helps me to put the frame back, the hoop back in the frame the right way every time. Okay, so now I need to get, and you can hear it click in. That's where I made the mistake the other day, was I had pulled it out and I didn't push it all the way back in, and the needle and the foot hit the side of the frame. That's what happened. It was my fault. Terrible. Okay, so I'm going to hit set and edit end, and now I'm going to apply spool thread colors to each one of these up here. So there are 3 thread spools right here. And if you can't see that, if you have one of these machines and you can't see the 3 thread spools, go into your settings. It's the little paper on the bottom, and go to page 7, I think it is, 6, 7, and it says manual color sequence. Make sure that's on. Usually when these machines come from the factory, it's off. It's always off when it's at a show. So I'm going to tell it, hit the 3 spools. Okay. The first spool is the placement line for the foundation, that form. I'm going to tell it spool number 6, which is white. So let me show you how this works. Do I have a pointer? I do. I do. Okay. What was the question? Okay. So what we have here, these are all of the color stops in the design. Let me zoom you in a little bit closer. Okay. These are all of the color stops in the design, and here's a preview of that color stop, and there are 14 of them. They're 1 through 14. The 1 through 5 and 6 through 10 here correspond to the spools on the back of the machine, the thread spools. And then we have a pause, we have a hand to stop, a do not stitch, and an OK. So my white is on spool number 6, so I made that one spool number 6. Now, this machine does not read from left to right like you and I do. It reads from right to left. So before it stitches the next one, I'm going to touch the next color stop. Before it stitches that, I want it to stop. And the hand goes up right here up in the corner. So it's going to stop and then stitch. Since the spool corresponds to stitch, the hand corresponds to stop. Stop, then stitch. So I want it to stitch on 6 again. Okay. And then this next one, this is a placement line for the fabric. So I need it to stop so I can put the shape form down. I need it to stop again after I put the shape form down. So I'm going to tell it to stop. I want it to stitch. Here, stop. Put the hand up. I want it to stitch again, number 6, so that I can pull the hoop and trim it. Okay. And then this is the tack down for the fabric. And I want that to stitch on number 6 as well. So there we go with all of the, it's going to stitch down the fabric. So that part of it is taken care of. Number 5 is a placement line for the strawberry, and that's spool number 1. All right. That's a little bit of applique fabric for that cute little strawberry I've got. And the next one is the tack down for the fabric. I want it to stop so I can lay the fabric down. Stitch number 1. And then this is, I need to trim the fabric away, so I want it to stop. That is the outer stitch line for the strawberry, and I want that to be spool number 1 as well. And I can see what it is right here. I can also follow the directions in the Kimberbell instructions. After that, all of these other stitches, Spanky's just going to do his thing, okay? So Sweet is also going to be spool number 1. I can see what it is right here. Land of is a darker red. That's spool number 4. Okay, those are the greenery and the top of the strawberry, the cap on the strawberry. That's spool number 2. And Liberty is going to be, let's see, I think spool number 9. I like the blue that I have on number 9 better than the one I have on number 5. Got 2 blues on the back there. Okay, and there are, let's see, the blueberries. That's number 9 as well. Is that right? Yeah, and then there are the tops of the blueberries. That's spool number 3. And here is the final stitch. The final stitch is where I need to put the envelope back on. So I want it to stop before it stitches and then stitch number 6. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to tell it okay. Perfect. So you can run through it again. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but embroidery, and we're ready to go. So it says 34 minutes for this stitch out. That's why we're going to take the time to make the label while this is doing its thing. So, okay, are we ready? I think so. Let's see. I'm going to lock. And let me get you back out here a little bit. You can watch the whole thing do. Let me move you over. Doing okay, Frito? There we go. Lock and go. I don't like that angle of the dangle there for you guys. Hold on. There we go. Thumbs up, you guys. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, I'm going to just, so it stopped when I told it to. I'm going to lay this down on top of it. Okay. Don't put your fingers anywhere near these needles, ever, ever, ever. They move so fast. Oh my gosh, on the cruise, I saw ladies putting their fingers right up to the very edge. Scared the bejingles out of me. Tack down goes around twice. Oh, where's my scissors? It should stop so I can pull it. It's going to, I can tell. And now I just need to trim this around. This is why I like this quilting table. It has a button for you to be able to pull it out. You know, it'll move forward a little bit to give you some room. I don't bother with that. With the quilting table, this is just easy. It's easier for me to just pull it. But this is where you can get messed up. And if you don't have front written on your stabilizer, really easy to put it back in the wrong way. And on those Autumn Love blocks, it matters, I found out. It definitely matters. Those blocks are not mirrored. They are their own thing. So yeah, I had some questions for Riley Blake about the trim lines. And so I reached out to my rep to the quilt store, to Two Chicks, and she reached out to them, and we're going to set something up so I can explain it properly to you guys. Thank goodness we're not too far along. We're not putting things together yet, so it should be fine. Very good. Okay. And now I'm going to do placement line. I think I forgot to tell it. I forgot to tell it to stop so I can put the fabric down, I think. Yeah, this is a placement line for the fabric. Just going around the outside about 1/4 of an inch away. Placement lines are usually 1. Yeah, I forgot to set the stop, so I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to hit the button there. So I stopped it. Now I can set this down, make sure it's fabric side up. So pretty. And lock and go. And I don't trim. Do I trim this? I don't think so. No, I don't trim it. You're supposed to tape it, but I'm not. Perfect. Isn't that pretty? Lovely. Okay. So now Spanky's just going to do his thing. Helen, thank you so much for your super sticker. You are so sweet, darling. Thank you. I appreciate that. Going around twice. Cheap class, right? That's what I always say. Cheap class. Okay. So now this is why I wanted to do this. Oh, no, I got one more piece of applique. My strawberry. There's a placement line. Okay. For those of you that are not pre-cutting your shapes for Autumn Love, this is how you'll do it. You're going to put your fabric over the placement line so that the placement line is completely covered. Because I had someone email and ask me, how do I do that? And then before the next stitch, you will pull the hoop and trim. The problem is, unless you put it up into canvas, the shapes, so you can put it up into canvas and you can separate them there in canvas, which is free, and I'll show you how to do that. Or if you have embroidery software, you can figure that out ahead of time to create the SVG file. You just can't separate those things. Okay. I got fuzzies. There we go. Front, front, front. Cute little strawberry. Okay, now, and hopefully my noise cancellation works on these. So it's just going to do its thing. Okay. I know, Kay, I feel the very same way. She says, I love to have 2 machines going at one time. Makes me feel like I'm getting something done. So I'm going to move Spanky away from us here a little bit. Give me some more space. And I'm going to take this camera and move it out of my way. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. The noise cancellation is working. Okay. So now we need to, let me get this other stuff. Alrighty. So now this is what the Solvay looks like. I've got links to it below. This one says Super Solvay. I put this back in the wrong package. This is not Super Solvay. This is standard Solvay. And the standard Solvay looks like Glad Press and Seal. Okay, very flimsy. And then this is a fibrous water-soluble stabilizer. And there are many different brands out there. I used Pellon 541 Wash and Gone for years. I got this at Walmart, you guys. It's like $5. Very inexpensive, okay? Autumn Love is scheduled to last until it's done, Celia. I've got a link below to the pattern. So the patterns for Autumn Love, all of that, and these rope bowls are all below in the description box. Underneath the video, it says more, ... Click that. It'll open up a bunch of links. And that's where you can get all of the stuff that I'm working on today. Let's see that pretty satin stitching. Oh, nice. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Love it. So now I'm going to do the label. And the label needs to go on this here. I do have the embellishment kit. Okay. And the embellishment kit comes with some little tassels if you want to use them. So you got different ways to finish off these rope bowls. You can put a button. See the strawberry button? If I wanted to do the little coil, I could put the button over the coil. Oh, I forgot to do my, I forgot to turn on my glue gun. I probably need to do that. Or you can use some beads, whichever way you want, okay? And then I got a piece of the, it has the pleather in there. Oh, you're going to Vegas, Anne. Have fun. Okay. So this, to make your labels, you have, there's a gray and a red that come in the package, okay? Let me turn this on. I need to go get my glue gun. I'll let you guys watch Spanky while I do that. I can't get out. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness. That machine does such a fantastic job. I just love it. So you need a glue gun for this so that the end of the rope, it gets tucked up inside that envelope backing, and that's your starting point. And you just hot glue that in there, and that keeps it, you know, from coming out while you're working. Okay. Handy dandy. Glue guns and I are not real good friends. There was a lady on the cruise, and she was awesome with a glue stick. We couldn't use, we could not use irons because they won't let you use them on the ship. But so everybody put their applique on with glue stick, and she hit that every single time. She got the placement line. She put it in there real tiny. I'm like, man, you're good with that. She said, I taught Sunday school. That was funny. You got to be good with a glue stick if you're going to teach Sunday school, right? Okay, this is just a piece of Teflon. It's a oven liner, and I cut it into 4 pieces. So that's what I have for my glue stick. So I'm just going to set this here and let it heat up and do its thing. Now, that's going to move. I'll be, if I could find my 4x4 hoop. It calls for a 4x4, but I ended up, I just used the 5x7. Move up. Get you guys in here. You can see what's going on. So I need cream thread. And change my thread color for this one. There we go. And this is very simple applique. All right, put my hoop in. I'm only using 1 layer because there isn't any one layer of the fibrous water soluble. If I had any heavy satin stitching, I would use 2 layers, but you really don't need it. All right. And oh, forgot to say, I also have Kimberbell rope. I like their rope. It's 100 feet and it's white, really whiter than a lot of them. Yeah, I'm glad it dried clear too. Sharon, I know. We go to embroidery and the pocket for memory. And I sent it over wirelessly. Let's see. I think I called it Liberty Label. There's the bowl, Liberty rope. Ah, here it is. And set. All right. An embroidery. Okay. So the first thing is a placement line for the label. I have a dime pre-wound bobbin in here. So simple. Okay. And then let me put that down and fully cover the placement line, and it's going to do the tack down. Oh, it's using a little back stitch. Okay. I think these are your trim lines. Let's see. Ah, that didn't sound good at all. Okay. Let's find out what's going on here. Something happened. Let me cancel. What happened? We came unthreaded. Okay. So let me see. This just a little bit. Let me lift you up so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. There's the thread. Let's see. Everything okay? Yeah, everything's okay. Not real sure what happened, but not a big deal. So clean edge there, clean end. Go down through this. I think I know what happened. I think I thought I was going to change this thread color and then thought better of it. And let me make sure I don't have any. Yeah, I got something going on down there. Let me cut that. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? Always check the back and underside if you have issues. Yeah, I thought I was going to change it, so I trimmed it, and then I thought better of it, and I tied it back on, but I didn't pull the thread through to rethread it. Everything looks fine under here. Okay. So again, my fault, not Spanky's. Pull that. Let me see. Let me see here. What is going on? Let me make like I'm going to cut it. What? Inappropriate needle stop position. Okay. All right. Now let's do that. Okay, good. Now I can pull this down and thread it. There's like a hook back here. Okay. Okay. Again, here's the front. And I'm going to back up, maybe 20 or so stitches. So I'm going to use the needle plus minus. I'm going to go back 10 and 10 more. Tell it okay. And don't go. I got to put the bobbin in. That would have been a big hot mess. Lock and go. Okay. Back in business. All right. All righty. Here we go. There is another bowl that's out there, Julianne. It has Home Sweet Home on it. Okay. So this thing went ahead and stitched the eyelet holes and the trim lines, I believe, is what that was supposed to be. Now it's going to do the stitching for the little leaves. I'm going to put this on. Okay, I think I'm going to tape it. Where's my tape? This just keeps the threads from burying themselves down into that soft pleather stuff. Very nice. Going to town this morning, you guys. Very pretty. Yeah, I've got two sources below for the rope bowls. One of them is Kimberbell itself. They'll provide downloads, but you can get the download and the physical products if you want them at the next source I have down there, which is my girlfriend's quilt shop. Is my pool ready to use, Cindy? Not yet. We have had so much rain. So much rain. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. Right now it has about 8 inches of water in the bottom of it, but they're coming today to pump it out. It's a beautiful day. They're going to come pump it out and get to working on it. Y'all can see I brought home my, I have an OT light up here, brought it home. I got so much stuff. Okay, and then the final, what's going on? What happened? I got to figure out what's happening over here now. Something happened. What's going on? Thread broke again? Yes. Why? I pulled that one through. There's no reason. Let's see here. Okay. So you always want to do a thread cut for the bottom. If this happens, I don't know why that did its thing. There's no reason that I could tell. Okay. And let me double check under here. Everything's fine there. Look back here. Everything looks fine. No idea. Huh. Okay. Maybe a thin spot in the thread. Who knows? It's, what did I do with it? There it is. Okay. What kind is that? It's an exquisite thread from Dime. Okay. I'm going to back up 10, 20. Okay. Huh. That shouldn't have happened. Huh. Looks good. Okay. Machines, y'all. Machines. Okay. And then we have the final outline stitch. And that's the stitch that's going to be trimmed away. Okay. So now we can pull off this. Just tear this stuff off. Okay, so it wants you to get this all wet. I'm not a fan of that. Sorry. Because I got pieces of it inside of the little threads. You can sit there and pick that out if you want. I don't want. So it says to trim away these outer thread lines so you don't see them. Okay. And then I have a, excuse me, I need to trim. I've got one thread that's a little long here. There, that looks good. Whoops. Okay, so you can, if you want, soak this off. I'm going to use a towel, just the corner of a rough towel, and a little bit of water. Let's see if I can get this to go away. And just wipe that off. That looks pretty good. And then wipe this one off. I'm not going to worry about what's on the back because you're not going to see it. It's going to be glued to the bowl. There. Now I can dry that. All right. That looks pretty good. Very nice. So there's my little label. Now it needs to have the little holes cut out. So I am going to dig around. I've got a, in my, hole punch. Okay. So This is an eyelet hole punch. Let's see if it works. Heck yeah, it does. Cool. I know a lot of people get these in their accessory kit when they get a Brother machine, and they're like, why do I have that? What on earth is that? And I'll never use it. All righty. How happy am I with the quality of the autumn quilt block? I'm pretty happy with it. Mine came out okay. If you have a Vernia, I recommend you use the PES file format. Okay. I'm going to do this from the back too, just to make sure I get everything. That's nice and clear. Okay. That looks good. All right. So my label is all done. I will admit, I think, Riley Blake is a fabric company. They're not an embroidery company. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Everything is under control here. Now I need to change my foot to a sewing foot. Okay. It is almost 9 o'clock. So for those of you who have to go to work and leave, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun to do embroidery. And I will see you back tomorrow. But the rest of you, I'm going to keep going here. So I want to, oh yeah, Peggy. So anyway, those of you that are leaving, thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, Peggy, PES actually is going to stitch better on a Bernina every time rather than the ART or the EXP. You're going to get a better product. So yeah, the first four are all the same block, just different colors. Yep. Hi, Kay. Thanks for joining us. Yep. Give it a try, you guys. There was a lady who was with our group in Indiana. She had a Bernina with her. When she tried stitching out her snapplique using the EXP, it didn't do well at all. It stitched much, much better with the PES file format. Bye, Jenny. Enjoy it. Enjoy the day. Okay, I need to change this to a sewing machine so we can sew the rope. And I need my foot right here. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. Put all this away. All righty. How we doing over here? Looking good? Yeah, Marcia, I hear you. I hear you. So I need to change out my foot. Now, I'm going to go to sewing first. Let me hit home and okay. I'm going to go to sewing so that the arm gets out of my way. It's easier to change the foot with the arm out of the way. Okay. And put this on. And I'm going to switch to white thread. Oh, let's see. This is bright, super white. Is that too white? Yeah, it might be. Yeah, that's too white. Better. I wonder if they just employed a digitizer there at Riley Blake to create these designs. I would think so. Okay. All right, and I want a zigzag. I guess I'll go with number 10. Okay. And I'm going to make it a little wider. And what have you, those of you that have made this before, can you take off the embroidery arm when you sew? Does it have a free arm for sewing? Yes, it does. Some machines, and this is one of them, they're a combo machine that you don't have to remove the embroidery arm. So that's the main reason I have a flexi spot table instead of like a big piece of that kangaroo furniture or something. I need to get an Avenir so I can show you how to use it. A1 Sewing back in Reno is having Avenir classes. I don't know if they're online or in person. And if you didn't buy it from them, there's a class fee. I know that. So yeah, give that a try. Give those PES files a try on your Bernina. I know Marcia Kimberbell, they're an embroidery company, right? They're digitizers. Yeah. So PES just stitches out better. When I heard that, Lisa Shaw mentioned that in the Embrilliance class. She said, if you're stitching on a Bernina, that's the reason that Embrilliance doesn't save to an ART format. It only saves to PES or EXP. So she said, if you use the EXP file, you're going to get better. I'm sorry, if you use the PES file, you're going to get better stitch outs on a Bernina. Okay. Oh, you Bernina girls are going to go jump on that and see how it works out. Please do. Excuse my rattle here. Okay, so we're just waiting now. My glue gun is hot. Waiting now for that to finish. This is why. $30 a class, that's a pretty good deal. This is why I wanted Spanky to be doing all this, so we'd just be sitting here watching it. Now I already have the label done. I believe all Bernina machines can use PES. Okay. So, yeah, some combo machines, like the little one I gave my granddaughter, the NQ3550W, you cannot embroider. You can't sew with the embroidery arm on. It's one or the other. But these larger combo machines, blueberries now, you guys. They have the ability for you to just move that arm out of the way, which is nice. And that, so again, as I was saying, that's why I don't have one of those big arrow cabinets or a kangaroo or koala or whatever, because this would have to sit down in that hole. The big cost on those furniture pieces are the hydraulics that go up and down. I would never use them because I always have mine up because I'm always using it for embroidery. I have other machines that I dedicate just for sewing. But the only reason I'm doing it here is because, well, one, the zigzag, my straight stitch won't do the zigzag, but I don't want to move the cameras all around and everything. So a class on the Avenir Masterclass online training. Who's got that, Katie? Worth every penny for learning your Avenir. Katie has an Avenir. I'm going to do the zigzag. I was watching Gloria Horn's sewing studio. They were doing rope bowls. I can't remember. I want to say she went a little larger. I think I'll go to 4 or 5. Any problems with designs while using a Mac, you're thinking of changing from your HP? Not at all, Jackie. Not at all. I think the reason I like using the Mac, and this is me because I'm a YouTuber, I'll take pictures with my phone of what I'm going to use, you know, in my videos. And I walk over to the Mac and it's, you know, you can airdrop it. So easy with the Luminaire, with the, I have a Windows machine over on my desk. I got to email it to myself. That little utility they have to put stuff back and forth doesn't work with beans. So, yeah. Oh, Angela Wolf's. Okay. Yeah. That's, I mean, if you're going to spend the money on an Avenir, spend the money on a masterclass. Okay. And I think that was a +1. You could get those master classes if you want. Let's look at the blueberries. Those are getting done. Almost finished. Oh, there's some little dots that are going to go on the ends of the stems here too. Excuse me. Oh, that was a good choice of color. I was worried about that. Get that thread out of there. That is gorgeous, y'all. Oh my goodness, that is pretty. The stitch quality on these multi-needles is fantastic. Lovely, lovely. It's free with the Avenir. Yeah, Becky, I thought so. You could get that or you could get other things, I know. This design, Scrapping Like a Lady, is from Kimberbell. It's part of their Holiday Rope Bowl series. It is so pretty. Okay, so it stopped for me to put on the backing. So I'm going to lay down this side first. Lay it on top there. And I'm going to overlap about an inch. Whoop, nope, not that much. Hold on. Oh, just like that. And then make sure this end here is covered. Okay. Got about a ½ inch of overlap. I'm going to tape it. Tape it in the middle so it doesn't go anywhere. And you don't want your foot getting hung up under there. So tape it on the edges too. It won't usually get hung up on these machines because the foot goes up and down instead of a swipe. There. There, that's hooked in good. And here's our last stitch. It'll go around twice, I think. Very pretty. Love that song. Okay. Get that off. Off. Okay, good. That turned out perfect, you guys. Love it. Okay. Now I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. And you don't have to cut the little V's like you would in garment sewing. This has a wide enough curve that it doesn't really need it, so long as you stay approximately 1/4 inch. Should be all right. Okay. There we go. Pull up my tape. Okay, and now I need to press this out. Let me flip it out. So I like to take let me back out. I like to take the farthest point first and push it through instead of starting on a close edge like that. Pull that. A lot less work. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Look how pretty this is. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Y'all, that would look beautiful on anything. So pretty. That would look gorgeous on a yard flag, right? Lovely, just lovely. Okay. Here we go with the rope bowl part. So they tell you in the instructions, you can do a 9 wraparounds, a 12 wraparounds, or like a 15. So I blew up the picture real big, okay, on my computer, and I counted, and this particular rope bowl has 12. And so that's the way I'm going to do it too, because I don't have an original thought in my head. Yeah, this is the Brother PR 1055 10 needle. This just turned out absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Absolutely love it. Nicely done, Kimber Bell. Okay. So here we go with this stuff. This is Kimber Bell rope. Bye, Connie. Have a great day. Hit the thumbs up, my friend. What are you all doing over in the virtual kitchen? Gossiping? What's going on over there? Okay. Let's see. Now, the problem with the rope is that it gets really twisty, and you have to stop to untwist it. But I will deal with that when I need to. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to empty out my trash can here into my big trash can. Okay. Nice and clean. And I'm just going to put my rope in here, and I'll deal with that. And that'll kind of hold on to it for now. So it has got a piece of tape on the end, and you want to cut it at like a 45-degree angle. Okay. And you've got to pull the core out. Okay. See the core in there? It's gray. See that? So you want to get this fabric outer piece back and grab those gray threads and kind of cinch the outer part down. So there's all the inner core pieces of their rope. Okay. And you want to get yourself a couple of inches of it there. All right. And then cut it off. Okay. So I cut the core off, and now I can take this and pull it back to where it needed to go. Okay. So now I have an empty piece right there. Okay. I can feel the core starting right here. So this much of it is empty. And now it'll glue in nice and flat. Cool, huh? Somebody was very clever. Whoever came up with this, very clever. Okay. Let me get my thing here. I'm going to make sure that this is all poked out all the way around. I got a little flat edge there. Very nice. Okay. That looks good. So that 1/2 inch overlap is just fine. If you want to press it down, you can. I'm not going to worry about it. If I press it, I'll do it on a ham. Okay. Throw this away. Now let's get to going here. So this goes pretty fast to go around. And I'm going to start it here at the bottom. Get this where you can see. So I'm just going to slip this inside. That's where that's going to get glued into. Okay. And then you can start going around the bowl. Is that right? Yeah. Gonna go, it's got to turn like this and go this way. Okay. Glue gun. That'll keep that from fraying too. Okay. And let me slip this up. I'm going to glue it not to the, I put the glue on one side and I'm gluing it to the shape form as opposed to gluing it to the fabric. Thank you, Becky. I know, right? Elaine, this design is, you can get it at my girlfriend's quilt shop. She has the CD or the download, I think. I know the download is at Kimberbell. This is from their holiday rope bowls collection. So cute, y'all. So cute. It has all these different, and the embellishment kits. Oh my gosh. The buttons. Like, look, there's a bat for Halloween. How cute, right? Adorable stuff. Okay. So now I'm just ready to start sewing, and I'm going to barely catch the edge. I've got a zigzag at 4.5. Come awake. There you are. I'm going to make it a lot wider too. Yeah. 2.5, maybe 3. There we go. So I am ready to start stitching on this. Okay. And we'll see how it goes. And you want to get that rope right in there. Let me get you up here close so you can watch what I'm doing. And we're going to go around 12 times. And I'm sure I'll be fighting with that rope before too long. Pretty sure. Okay. I plugged in the, oh, I need the foot controller. I plugged in the foot controller. I am not a button stitcher. That's not, I don't like sewing with that green button. I'm too old to change. I've tried it. I hate it. Not doing it. Okay. Looks like we're going to start on the rope. So here we go. So on the, right? That's down. So let's go. There we go. So on the first time around, you do it on the flat and just press it together. Why am I going so slow? What's the matter? I got a cord in the way. Don't you hate it when you get a cord up under that foot and you can't move it? Something is causing a problem. Oh, there we go. I had something under there. So on the first time around, just mash it up against the base. So I'm holding it with one finger and turning with my left fingers. One finger on my right hand to press it up close. Slow down on these curves a little bit. Okay. So now once you get this thing done, you've gone all the way around one time. Now I'm going to climb on top. Oh, I missed my stitches right there. I need to sew that. Okay, I'm going to stop. One more stitch. I'm going to tie a knot. Cut. I'll show you why I stopped. I got a gap right there. I missed it. That's okay. Just go back and fix it. Not the end of the world at all. You won't notice it at all. So let me stitch this on. Okay, I'm going to tie off in the, let me go one more stitch. I want to tie off in the rope. You'll see it, it's less conspicuous. Okay, now I'm going to trim these. Good night. Look at that. Where's my scissors? I don't need these great big scissors for this. Okay. Now I'm going to climb up. I'm going to start again here. See, if it messes up, it's no big deal. You can't even tell. I'm going to lock stitch. Okay. And then once I climb up on top of the other rope, let me get right up on this. Make sure where the rope meets that they are stitched together. I'm using a 90-14 needle too. Now I'm going to stitch in where the rope is next to the first round, and I'm going to hold this up. There we go. And what you do is you hold it up so that the fabric is touching the side of your machine right up here. Uh-oh, we're apart. Get back together. Yeah, I'm using a 90-14 needle for this rope. After a while, you get the hang of it. But this is what gives it the curve. You know, and if you miss a stitch, it's fine. I'm waiting to get the hang of it. It's going to come to me here in a second, I can tell. Realign here a little bit. Okay, wait. I need more rope. What's going on in here in the rope bucket? Where is it? Oh, now what's going on in here? Let's see. I don't need knots. See this? This is where, oh, good Lord. It should just come out, but it's acting like it's tied around itself. Ah, hate that. I'm going to go stretch this out as far as I can and get rid of any kind of knots. Okay. So that'll keep me for a little bit. Yeah, I should roll it into a ball, I know. Okay. But I got a whole 100 feet, so I didn't want to because I'm lazy. All right, so now we're on row 3. Let me get that together. I've watched a lot of videos on how to do this. They make it look so easy. I mean, I guess it is, but I got a gap right there too. On the gap I just found, I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to fix it now as opposed to waiting. Ooh. Okay. It's really hard to go back and fix a gap once the bowl is finished. So if you come across a gap while you're going, while you're going around, go ahead and fix it. Let me put the foot down. Tie off again. I'm not using a back stitch. I'm using the tie off stitch that the Brother machine has. The trick is to look in that gap through the clear plastic on the foot. Keep that rope right. They need to be right next to each other. Okay, here, row number 4 out of 12. I am getting better at this. Uh-oh. I know you would hate to mess it up with the rope after that pretty embroidery job, right? I've got an embroidery bobbin in too. I didn't even bother to change. And I'm stitching with embroidery thread. Didn't even change it. You can use a matte thread if you want, and then you won't see the stitches. Mine, I can see them because they're shiny. I forgot. I didn't even think about that till just now. You're going to want to use a matte thread and a matte bobbin because you're going to see the bobbin thread on the outside of the bowl. Not talking, you guys. I'm thinking. Concentrating here. Okay, starting row number 5. These are fun. Oh my goodness, I'm having a good time. Definitely a new skill for me. Oh, okay. I'm running out of rope here. Give me some more. Okay, I was getting tension. See how it's curving up? Isn't that cool? Row 6, halfway done. All right, going to town here now. Picked up speed as I got more rows. I guess if you wanted to, you could cut a 2.5-inch strip of fabric and wrap, or 1.5 inches maybe. I can't remember what it was on that other bowl, but you could wrap the top edge if you wanted a colorful edge. Oh, this is getting hard. I got knots. Getting drag here. 100 feet. You could make 2 small bowls, I think. Or definitely a large one and a small one. I don't know for sure. Come on, don't be like that. This stuff, it's twisty, y'all. Look at this thing standing up. So cool. I cannot see y'all's comments, y'all. I'm concentrating here. What is in the way? My shoe. So pretty on my table. Where are we at on lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're on 10. Okay. 2 more to go. I like the diameter of the Kimberbell rope too, better than what you find in the hardware store. Okay, we're starting 11. Well, you know, Kimberbell, they got to make all their stuff just a little bit different. I got a little kink here. Oh. All right, and now I'm starting number 12. This is the last row. So clever. Oh my goodness. Doesn't the sound of that machine just make you want to go sew something? I sewed my one of the June blocks for Prairie Home last night after we got home from the coast. Okay, oops, I was supposed to stop back there a little ways. I went too far. Okay, I don't want to go around another. I'm just going to unpick that. Nah, I'll just go around one more time. I need to quit. Make yourself a, I need a clip. I need a clip. I went too far. No big deal. And nobody's going to come count the rows. So I have this. I'm going to put that clip right there. So this time I'll know where to stop. These are really easy to unpick if you mess them up too, because it's a wide zigzag, really easy to unpick. And you want to stop over here on the side because that's where the label's going to go. I should have stopped while the getting was good. Now I got more knot mess here. Okay. Okay, it wants you to stop at the top. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now this is different than what they tell you to do, okay? Now I've got to figure out how much more rope I need to put on my label, okay? And so I'm going to come around, I'm going to put this, clip that. It's going to come around like this. And then it's going to fold back in on itself, okay? And the label's going to cover, it's going to go like that with a little loop. And I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to put a tassel in that loop right there. So that's how that's going to finish up, okay? Yep, okay. That's what you kind of got to do. Do like this. Use a little bit more to fold it under, covered by the label right there. Okay, I'm going to cut it. Okay. Just like this. Let me put a tassel on. Where'd my tassels go? I have a blue tassel. Okay. So this is going to go on here, just like that. And then this is going to fold back under like this, right here on the side. Okay. And then this is going to go over it. So let me clip this right here. Okay. All right. See how much easier it is to do when it's out of the machine? Crazy. Okay. I'm going to start a little knot. Okay. I need to hold this just right so it doesn't come apart on me. Pull this off. All right, the tail of the loop is underneath. I'm going to go backwards. Make sure I got that. Yes. Look at that. See how it's on there? Pretty cool. Okay. And now I'm going to take this and put it over. I'm going to put my, okay. Just like that. Come here, glue gun. I got business with you. Let's see here. I'm going to take it and put it just like this. One little line here. Okay. And cover that halfway down. Right there. And then another tiny little line right here. and put that on like that. And I'm going to level out the edge so that it looks like it's around the same, you know, so it's not crooked on the bowl. So it's on the same edge there. Oh, that looks great. Look at that. All right. How about that? Look at that, y'all. What do you think? I think it turned out adorable. Look at this. How cute. I love this. This is going to look amazing on my table all summer. I love this. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I'm going to trim up give it a haircut a little bit. Awesome. Well, this has been fun. I enjoyed this a lot. It was fun using the multi-needle, putting that to work. So I'll get you up close so you can see inside how it started. Okay. My tassel hanging here. I like that closure much better than the little swirl. I like it much better. Turned out just adorable, you guys. All right. So this was a lot of fun. My goodness, hour and 45 minutes and it's done. What a beautiful gift, right? You could give these. Oh, very, very nice. Oh, what about a last name established and the date for a basket for a wedding with the last name, you know, established, what, 2025 or whatever. And then they can collect cards in this at the wedding. That would be awesome. You could do anything in the bottom of these. Very, very cool. Will I have an Embrilliance code soon? I don't work, Susan, I don't work for Embrilliance. I have no clue when they're going to put the next one out. So you don't think you could do that? Are you sure, Darkness? Of course you can. I did it. Of course you can. All right, y'all, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Please give a thumbs up. If you're watching on TV, get that TV remote and hit the channel up button. That gives me a thumbs up as well. And be sure to subscribe. I think this is a perfect wedding gift. My goodness, how neat is that? And then after the wedding, they've got it as a keepsake they can share in their home forever. How nice is that? I love it. Awesome. All right, y'all. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon. You guys go sew something. Bye.